My name is Edward Roski, and as CEO at Interel, I've been helping companies plan for uncertainty for the last 25 years. I'm here today to give you 4 tips to ensure that your reporting is strategic. While everyone is hoping the economy recovers quickly, we have to make sure, especially right now, that we deliver the right information to the right people at the right time so they can make effective decisions quickly. In times of uncertainty, time becomes our most precious commodity. People tend to toss strategy to the side when things change rapidly, but that's exactly when we must stop and pause for a moment. We must determine our strategy for sharing information, and then put in place a strategy to make sure that as information begins to come in, you can immediately report on what happened, determine why it happened, and then take action. Every report needs to lead immediately to one of 2 things, either a deeper question or a physical action. So start with the end in mind. What information would lead me, or the person who gets this report, to a different physical action? This is a pie chart I saw of what percentage of Wikipedia pages are edited by groups of 1,000 editors. I have no earthly idea what I'm supposed to do with that information. Stephen Covey said, "To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination." So start off by asking yourself, why am I making this report? What's the goal? How can I convey information not for the purposes of having a pretty looking report, but for the purpose of making sure someone takes action on this information? Once you understand your goal, design the report to be as simple as possible. There are only 4 things on your report that would cause someone to do something different. Ditch the rest, or put them on supplementary schedules or reports that people can drill to. Are visuals important? Sure, if they help someone understand the information better. If those visuals are helping someone make mental connections between points of data faster. And don't forget that you actually have to build the report. So make sure you select the right tool for the right audience when you design this report. If your audience is a salesperson, for instance, don't make your report a 10 meg Excel spreadsheet. They might claim that a 10 meg spreadsheet is invaluable, especially if you later try to stop distributing it. But trust me, those salespeople are not going to open it. My second tip for strategic reporting is use your data to tell a story. Be a storyteller. When you use your data to tell a story, you're taking the recipient of your information on a journey. You're not just jumping to the end and saying, here's the result, now go take action. So ask yourself, what story does your data tell? Are there conclusions that I can draw? Is the data displayed in a way that tells a complete story from beginning to end? Does my reporting tool allow for a story to be told? Does it use things like commentary, narration, visuals, and so on? Some of the rules I follow are I don't jump right to the punchline. I make sure that I'm using the right reporting tool for the job. Again, yes, it's easiest for you and for me to use Excel, but is that the best tool for telling your story? And I make sure I'm using words to give my numbers context. My next tip for you is to make sure that you don't go with the one report fits all methodology. Curate your data. Cater your report to your audience. And if you have different audiences, tailor your reporting to each separate audience, each user type, each persona that might receive your information. In this case, my questions are, who is the audience for this report? Does the level of detail that I'm presenting make sense for that audience? Am I making sure only to show the data to the audience that helps them take action, that I'm not overwhelming them with irrelevant things? And then give the report to each audience at the right level and in the right format. You're giving it to the board, a C-level executive, a vice president. Give them summarized, aggregated data. Use dashboards so they can focus on those 5 things that most impact the organization at any one time. Giving it to a manager, they need summarized, categorized, aggregated data for their specific functional areas. They need narration to tell the story and explain variances. And those managers should have the ability to drill into detailed data on demand for when they want to investigate. What about analysts, your numbers people? They need to be able to see a summary view and all the detail too. My other bit of advice for this group, don't worry about making your analysis particularly pretty, because most analysts are just going to export it to Excel anyway. My fourth tip for strategic reporting is to get the right information to the right people at the right time. The old way to deliver information was to wait until the month or the quarter ended, close the books, verify everything, and then give it to everyone. Business changed slowly enough that there wasn't, frankly, a big hurry. But during times like these, no one can wait until halfway into the next month to figure out what was happening last month. It's too late by then. And sorry, Michael J. Fox, but time travel does not exist. We cannot change the past. Now, there may be some data that doesn't change except once a month. How many factories you have open, for instance. Although, I guess lately that does seem to be changing during the month. So ask yourself, what frequency of data do your users need to go take action? And then based on this, is that data available to be loaded that frequently? Do I have the right data integration tools in place to allow for loading data that often? Is the data always reliably available that often? And then determine the time frame for action on this report. If someone could take action during the day if data could be loaded that often, align the data refresh frequency to this time frame. Indicate the last update date or the last refresh frequency right on the report. Let your users know how fresh your data is, or alternatively, how fresh your data isn't. Some of your reports will be updating daily or even hourly, so there's no time for the humans to review them. So make sure that you've built in automated data quality checking and cleaning to find any gaps and correct them in your information. So your 4 tips for strategic reporting: 1, start with the end in mind. 2, use your data to tell a story. 3, cater data to your audience. And 4, deliver timely data. The recently departed Jack Welch once said, "An organization's ability to learn and translate that learning into action rapidly is the ultimate competitive advantage." In other words, make sure you learn from your data and then take action. That's what will separate you from your competition over the next few months. Go to Interroll.com/updates and stay up to date on all the information as it changes. This is Edward Roski with Interroll Finance News. Stay safe out there.